Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Truncate with Truncate Gaming. Today we're doing the REL Divisions 4 and 5 Week 8 recap. With me is Superfed. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I just had a rough match, but came out of it with a draw, so I'll hang in there.
All right, we're gonna get into that. Oh, we're gonna get into that. But let's kick it off with our regularly scheduled program. Back after a couple weeks hiatus. First thing we got going on, we're gonna go over the recaps of Week 8. This one, we're going to start off with Cash Crew Part 2, 2-1 over Templars of Aurora. I did not see this one coming. 2-1, 6 armor breaks to 7, so nice job to Cash Crew Part 2. Look at this strength 4 fucking Frenzy lineman getting the MVP, or Blitzer getting the MVP. This guy's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually really good for Cash Crew.
48 successful blocks, so that's how he won it. He only had 3 removals on 48 blocks.
Yeah, both teams had very few armor breaks, but they all pretty much resulted in removals.
But look at the next page, though. So Cash Crew only removed 3 people, but Templars of Aurora had 7 guys off the pitch. So they did 4 more on their own, it looks like. That'll be interesting to see. There you go. So after Necromantic Newbies, I thought they were a bye. Oh, that's a bye week versus a bye week, right? Or is that, are they
Yep.
somebody? Yeah, that's a bye week versus a bye week, looks like. Is it Cash?
Oh no, you're thinking of Havoc Cinchman.
Am I in the wrong division? All right. So 2-0, that's a bye week. Panicky Powder is a bye week. 3 Mountains, 2-1 over Pandemonium Burgers. That is Chaos versus Dwarfs. Only 4 armor breaks for Pandemonium Burgers. Clearly they don't have any Claw yet. Fried just got a level, and first thing he got was Claw. That's funny. He's probably after that match was like, fuck that, I'm getting Claw.
Yeah, there's a lot of AV9 here, so it's not the worst choice.
60 breaks, 60 blocks, excuse me, with 3 removals. That's it. That's a lot of beating, man. Fucking dwarfs. You and I can get into our game about dwarfs and what fucking bullshit race that is. We'll talk about that later, though. Track World Day Laborers. Humans had a good day in Division 5. They beat the secret of my success. Beating orcs when you are humans is always a big win because orcs are extraordinarily tough map. Probably one of the hardest matchups for humans. That AG4 Blodge piece probably did work if I had to guess. And he got the MVP. 50 blocks for the orcs.
If you have to face orcs as humans, it's better to do it at the slower TV. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, well, as humans, it's really not a good time to play orcs. But yeah, right around 1,000 to 1,200 at the TV is about as much as you want to do. After that, it gets real tough real fast. Oops. Am I the right one? C137 3-0 versus Nurgle FTDs. So I saw your guys' recap, your mid review, and you talked about who was going to win the division, and y'all kind of made your pseudo picks. You were all wrong because Dimension C137, he's going to win.
Yeah, that requires a stumble from Skanky Island Boys though, and that might be asking a lot.
I don't know. Mr. Poopy Butthole there. He's a dirty player kicker. He got the MVP. And Lord Herpistus with his AG bus, he got the MVP over there. Nurgle FTD is 13 armor breaks on the undead. Wow. 13 armor breaks. What do they do? 50 blocks and 5 removals. 10% there. 34 blocks.
Yeah, Mighty Blow obviously did some work.
Yeah, that looks like it was kind of a bloody game. Three injuries for undead, man. I cannot wait to look at Dimension C137. I don't think we're looking at them today, but I'm excited about that team, man. Future champions. And then we're finished up with Skinky Island Boys, who you were just talking about. They got it too. Oh, Havoc Henchman is a buy. So. Oh, he leveled a Saurus on that.
Yep, that's right. Ugh, lucky.
And that other guy, he's fucking 27 and 31. He's got block guard already. All right, so that was the week in review. So we will check out the leaderboard. See, I was looking at it. You said Skinky Island Boys. We decided on Weave or Wave.
I say Wave.
All right, we'll go with Wave.
Or Wave? Wave? I don't know. Maybe.
Wave. We'll let you be right for once. They are still on top, 7-1-0. With Kaeya Sublu, 6-1-1. What?
Yeah, I don't see those Kinky Island Boys losing.
Well, I think they're through their buys, so we'll check out their schedule someday in the future. C137 though, Tommy Too Tall, dude, he's on the heels. All he needs is one little trip up, and that's gonna happen. Look at that fucking Dark Elf, man. Hanau Brown Drow, Phaedrus coming up behind. He's not very far out of it. Look at all the top of the leaderboard stacked, man. Hipster, even though he took a little loss, he's still in it. The secret of my success, the Rusty Sea Better, he's right behind him. And then Cash Crew Produced, crawling back into it with that upset victory over Temples of Aurora. Necromantic Newbies, Yochi Honua. I think that's how you say it.
100% accurate.
100% accurate. And then Moniker, the Jack Roll Day Laborers, these guys are starting to kind of fall out of the running right here. Pandemonium Burgers, Moad Dave. I mean, Chaos, Nurgle. These are early seasons, and these teams are always kind of tough. So.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about them, but you know, I've seen High Lord Salt talking in Discord, and he's pretty dejected. He was very salty after that loss to Dimension C137. But if you think about it, I mean, Undead are at their prime, their first season, and Nurgle are at their worst. So it's really hard to, you know, even come away with a win. Just one win this season will be a challenge.
Well, this is going to work out perfect because my pick for this week is Nurgle FTDs. Nurgle FTDs bringing up the rear, but like you said, I think they're on their way, man. I think they're in a good show. They got guard. They're looking good. Somebody told me, I don't know who it was, somebody told me that you are an expert in Nurgle. Tell me, how are you an expert in Nurgle, man?
Who said that?
Why?
I mean, I played Nurgle Champ Ladder, which was interesting and fun, a couple seasons ago, and that's where I kind of got my experience with Nurgle. I am not a fan of playing against Nurgle, but I don't think anyone really is. They just kind of counter every strategy you got. But yeah, he's off to a good start. I like the Mighty Blow on the as the first choice for one of the pieces, and then the block on the other 3 warriors.
Yeah, the warriors look good. I mean, this guy, the Claw, he is almost there, man. He is one touch. I would move heaven and earth, High Lord Salt, when you watch this. SJCT. What the fuck does he say his name is? Where's it at? SJ.
Sauce.
Sauce. I'm just gonna call it, yeah, Sauce is the way to go. Sauce, move heaven and earth and get this Gonorrheus, the Pustelin, get him a touchdown. So we can get him some fucking Mighty Blow, because Mighty Blow, Claw, Nurgle Warriors kill orcs.
They kill everything.
They win games. Well, they tie games, I guess.
He's really trying to rub it in here, but yes, I just lost my Agi Blitzer, and I'm a little sad about it.
And he lost it. Who'd he lose it to? He lost it to a Claw, Mighty Blow, Nurgle Warrior. So that's your future, brother. It's a rough season. And I actually, Sauce, I want to know that the guy that Wedge that Superfed just played, he was super down after his first season too. But he stuck with it, and now he was in the running. He's in the top half of the table, and he is competitive. So stick with it another season.
And just roll strength ups, because that's really all you need to do. Strength ups and doubles on your beast, although his beast is no longer with us.
Sauce may have to give up his name, High Lord Salt, to Superfed after today's game. You had
such a good username.
It's a great username. You had a tough game in Clan too, right? That didn't go very well from what I heard.
That went great. What are you talking about? My players stayed on the bench. Oh, Clan you're talking about.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Nats. No, Clan. Clan is Clan.
Clan is Clan.
As expected, I can't make a 3+ handoff in Clan. Like I've every single time, I cannot make a single 3+ handoff. So I don't even try.
So back to High Lord Salt. He needs to pick up a couple of Rotters. He got money. He's got enough money for 2 more Rotters. I would get them both. You need a little bit of a bench. You want to do some fouling when you're Nurgle. You got a dirty player, so he's gonna get sent off, and you're 1 short anyway. So I would spend that money and get both of them. That's what money's for with Nurgle, is to replace Rotters. That's the only reason you have it, because the other guys aren't going anywhere. This guy, this AG bus is not a big deal, but he's only an injury away from getting an SPP too. 1 more casualty. Keep hitting with him. It'll eventually happen. I would take this guy, and I would focus on hitting the low armor guys. I'd find any AV7 or AV8s that I could and beat on them.
Yeah, I would suggest an alternate too. Try and score your first touchdown with Testigore. He's 1 away from leveling, and make him your actual killer with Mighty Blow, and just blitz with him every single turn. Get him claw next, then tackle, then piling on, but skip block.
Yeah, I love the Pestogrim model. I love the Pestogrim with a big old gut that's like spilling out and their skin's about to break. I mean, he's already got a piece. That Root Hespis has already skipped block. You think you do it again, huh? And he doesn't have
Yeah.
block on where to go. He doesn't have enough block, man. I don't know about that. I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna say you need some block. You only got 3 block on the whole fucking squad.
You'll get block on your sure hands piece, and you'll get block on, or you'll probably get wrestle actually on the third Pestigore
Yeah,
there.
but you're not, and this is why I don't advocate getting sure hands on your first guy and your first ball carrier piece, because if you get him sure hands and he scores all your touchdowns and nobody else develops, like this guy's got sure hands, awesome, but you have to score touchdowns on this guy and these dudes up here, so you're not even going to use the sure hands unless it's a fucking absolute critical emergency. You're not in the race, so there is no absolute critical emergency. Yeah, I don't know. I don't dig it. I don't dig it. I'd rather go. I get some block. I think you need to start getting some headers, some more
I,
safety on your team.
I tend to agree. I think the more advanced players will skip sure hands early, but every beginner guide that you will ever read online will tell you sure hands first. And that's mostly reroll management, I guess, more than anything.
And that's a big part of playing Nurgle's reroll management. You are gonna talk about some humans, right?
Yeah, Cash Crew Part 2.
1160 TV. What in the hell, Bobby? What the fuck's with this team, dude?
There was a team.
There is. I'm just looking at the portrait in front. It's fucking 5 humans and an ogre. What the fuck is going on?
To be fair, he's got all the pieces that matter. We've talked about human throwers and how mediocre they are at best. He's got an Agi up catcher, which is awesome. It's almost it's a gutter runner basically at this point. And then he's got all his blitzers and his ogre, and all those pieces are moving along nicely.
Okay. So he's got this guy. He's got Fat Stacks. He's gonna get stand firm. He's awesome. He's got Donovan. He's probably gonna get guard to stand firm. He's awesome. Richie is a touchdown away from getting fucking tackle. He's actually pretty good. I mean, when you point it out, it's not really in a bad shape. He is carrying a lot of cash. He needs a fucking reroll. You guys talked about it at the mid-turn. He needs a reroll.
He needs a reroll because he lost his thrower. I don't know if there's a theme here. His name is JJ Cash. It's Cash Crew Part 2, and he's got 260,000 gold in cash that he's just carrying. I mean, maybe it's a theme.
No, he needs to fucking spend the JJ Cash. Get the hardwired reroll. Just get the fucking reroll. That still gives you 1,500. You can buy the reroll and 3 fucking linemen and be okay. What I think happened is I think he forgot to spend his money before the game started. And I've done that. Have you done that?
Oh yeah, it's usually you're rushing to get into your match, and your player's been waiting on you, and you're like, okay, let me just do this. Yeah. And the second you get online, he's gotten invited in his box waiting for him.
So I remember when you guys covered him on the week that I missed. You were talking about it, and I'm like, I was watching you guys play, and nobody was talking about the fact that he lost his leader reroll. And I was screaming, I'm like, he's got tons of cash, get a fucking reroll, get a fucking reroll. And then now he's got so much cash, I almost guarantee you he forgot to spend his money before that game. So get a reroll, actually get a reroll, get a fucking thrower, and then probably 1 lineman is what you're gonna have, and then another lineman.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong about picking up the thrower.
But if you can't afford, I mean, you need to get 3 pieces. So if you can't afford a thrower and 2 linemen, which I don't think you can actually. Maybe
no.
You can. I would get the 3 linemen. I get the bodies.
Yeah, I think they're 80K a piece. And I would say get 3 linemen too.
Because you want to score. Some of these blitzers are so close. You probably want to score anyway. AG4 fucking catcher. That guy's gonna get blocked pretty quick. Or would you get block or wrestle on him, on Clyde Cooper Jr.?
Personally, I'd get wrestle.
Yeah, it's AG on humans is always tough for me, and I play humans. And weirdly, on all my human teams, I mean, I play a lot of humans on like 4 or 5 different leagues. I almost never get AG ups. I almost never get AG ups. But on the catcher, I mean, you want a catcher to throw, you want a catcher to. The thing about the AG4. And the reason I would give him block instead of wrestle, and I know I get the make him a sacker thing, you can make a good sacker without AG4. Just give him Give him strip ball, give him wrestle, give him tackle, give him dauntless, all that shit, you're fine. When you have the AG4, it makes getting through the picket fence on the other end, it's a big difference when you have AG4 over AG3. And I've done a million fucking attempts at one turns with humans, and I would say the majority of the time where I get caught up isn't on the pushes, it's at the picket fence. And the AG4 makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
So I would get blocked just because it keeps him on his feet. That's my go. Or what else would I get? Sidestep, maybe. I might skip it all and get sidestep.
And the way that he's built, I don't think that there's anything wrong with. Like I just like to always have one wrestle piece that's good at that, and just that would be your sacker gutter. But he's only got one catcher, and you know he's definitely taking some hits. So you're probably not wrong to go with block in this circumstance. But I just always like to have at least one wrestle.
I do too. I mean, he could get the reroll a catcher and a thrower, and then just go with a couple loner linemen until he gets more money again. Linemen are only 50,000, so they come and go pretty quick. I cycle through linemen so fast, but I think he looks good, man. This fucking what are you gonna get for Lonnie in like Flynn, man? What do you get? That's stand firm probably.
Yeah. I would want the Mighty Blow next just to keep leveling, probably. As long as, but I'm very careful with my positioning with my frenzy piece. I save stand firm for later on.
Yeah, I can see Mighty Blow. You'll start murdering people for sure.
That's the plan.
And then I mean, yeah, that's. I would probably. I don't know, man. Strength 4. I mean, you could get Juggernaut and just fucking push people around.
Yeah, that's the blitzer I have is Frenzy Juggernaut.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That's exciting. This team actually, I mean, for being so thin, they look pretty good, man. Look pretty good. All right, let's go on. Let's move on. Highlight game. You want to do yours or mine first?
Well, we can do yours first.
Let's do mine first. So my game is going to be How Now Brown Drow versus Dimension C137, my two favorite teams in the division. Sorry everybody else, but these guys are the best teams in the division because they're cool. This guy has a cool name. This guy's got nasty fucking mummies. Where is he at? 15-10 undead. Tommy Too Tall. Tommy Too Tall. You need to change your fucking motto, Tommy.
Do we want to look at them?
Yeah, I'm gonna look them real fast because they're gonna play. We gotta see who's playing who, right? Blodge Mummy.
Jesus Christ.
Strength 4 Mummy. AG4 fucking white. Look at this. His ghouls are developed. He's got 2 dirty players. This team is fucking sick. I'm jealous of this team.
The only thing I can say is that he has the worst MVP luck.
Yeah, but check out these MVPs on these same 2 fucking zombies. It's the same 2 over and over again.
That's 9 MVPs.
On 2 guys.
And the worst 2 pieces.
Oh man, that's awesome. It's fucking awesome. I wish he'd gone wrestle instead of blocking that guy, but we'll talk about that later. And he's gonna be going up against elves. And I'm looking at this team, Tommy Too Tall's team, which is super gross. One thing that sticks out to me is he only has 1 wrestle and 1 tackle. And he's going up against 1730 with pending level up Dark Elves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dodge. There's 1 tackle, and he's got 5 dodge.
Yeah, he's got 4 AV7 pieces, which is odd.
He also has 2 AG5 pieces.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
There's no such thing as a cage against this team, that's for sure.
So.
And he's got 2 guard.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing with 2 guard?
He needs to fire at least one of these runners. Get rid of this guy. Cyril, get rid of him. Phaedrus, get rid of that guy. You don't need him.
And he's sitting on bank too.
Yeah, he's got to pick up his missing blitzer. Get rid of this fucking runner. Pick up your missing blitzer. And he's deep, man. He's got what? 13 players.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Both these, you're right to pick this one. Both these teams are just poised to explode, and hopefully they both make it out.
Super fair. We've been doing this for 9-10 weeks now. You should know that I'm always right.
Except when you're not.
I have not been right once. So who do you got in this game? I'll let you pick first, because you're going to be wrong no matter what.
I'll pick the elves. I think that the Agi 5 leap and just, I mean, even the cage diving from the witch elf, and they got the guard. Yeah, they've got everything they need to beat this team. They've even got diving tackle. So the ghouls, they're not dodging anywhere. Yeah, I take the.
I I picked. I want to take the elves. Phaedrus, I really, really, really want to take this elf team because this elf team is fucking nasty. But I picked Tommy Too Tall to win the division. So I got to stick with him. But I don't. I'm nervous about this game because I think that the Hound Out Brown Drought looks fucking good. God, this team looks
I
good.
mean, so basically, I would argue that this is going to be for second place, although the dwarves are also in contention there. But how now Brownjow beat the dwarves, and so if he can also beat Tommy Too Tall, and he has a chance to play the Skinky Island boys, there is the potential there for the upset.
Phaedrus could win the whole damn thing.
But I don't. But Tommy Too Tall. Yeah, but Tommy Too Tall's already lost to Skinky Island boys, so I don't think he has as good of a chance if he beats How Now Brown Drow. All he can do is basically secure it for the Skinky Island boys.
But if he beats How Now Brown Drow and the Skinky Island boys lose somewhere down the road, all I'm saying there's a chance. Speaking of the Skinky Island boys, you have the Skinky Island boys versus
yes, they're going up against Necro Newbies, who got their win that we talked about before. So they're on the upswing.
And
they also got a bye week, which gave them some much needed cash. And level up zombie, which is not going to do a damn thing. Probably
dirty player.
He's got one, yeah. Might as well get a second.
I'd keep getting them. When I play Necro, I get everybody dirty player. But he's got block on his werewolf. The other guy's only a level away. This fucking Flesh Golem's gonna get guard or Mighty Blow, whichever he decides first. Still kind of a bare bones team, depending level. And he's going up against the leader, the Skinky Island boys, the 1570 with pending level on not one but two Saurus and a Skink. And 2,200 in cash.
Yeah, he came off a bye and he got some good, well-located SPP, mostly onto the Saurus there, so that's huge.
I would just buy it if I were you, Wave or Weave or what did we say, Wave? Wave. I'd level up my stadium.
Now's a good time for that, yeah.
But yeah. I'm going to pick first. I'm going to take the fucking lizards.
Yeah, you do that. I'm going to say the Necro Newbies are going to get the upset because Skinky's is due for some dice. He's due for a real dicing. I'm going to say he doesn't have his weather dome yet, so there's going to be some rain. So his Skinks can't even pick up the ball. And Dirty Player is going to do stuff without ever getting caught by the ref. And those are the circumstances that it's going to take for this big, huge upset.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, your logic's not bad here. Because if you think about it, he's got 3 pending level up. So at minimum, he's going to be at 1630. He's going to be minimum. And Necromantic Newbies, they have 1 level up, right? So they're going to be at 1210. 410,000 in inducements.
Morgan Thorpe ball carrier. Do it. Actually, they have the vampire. I would actually take the vampire.
Yeah, the count's awesome. But you know who else is awesome? And who is really awesome against fucking Armor 9? Strength 4? Wilhelm Chaney, dude. Claw.
No, that's not a bad choice
Strength
either.
4
actually.
Claw. And you get the wizard. But anyway, he gets some inducements. So the makings of an upset there for sure. For sure. Wave's still gonna win. Go prove me wrong. Yoichi Hiruma! Yoichi Hiruma. I'm gonna say
I'm just
gonna
point out that you have conflicting predictions, and that if you want Dimension C137 to go through, they're gonna have to have an upset at some point against Skinky Island boys. Just saying.
Let's just fucking check out Skinky Island boys the rest of the season. What do they got? They got Necromantic Newbies. They got Templars of Aurora. They're gonna lose that game. They're gonna lose that game for sure. What else are they gonna lose? How Now Brown Drow. They're gonna lose that game. And poor admin squad. They'll win that one. What else do they have? The secret of my success. So there's like 3 or 4 losses on their schedule, man.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to those.
Before we go on to Division 4, let's talk real fast about the Caster Super Bowl, where Trunkhead got diced to shit by the no skill dwarfs. That was some bullshit, right?
That's exactly how it didn't go down.
Well, we have it.
I seem to recall some desperation. I do recall that. I do recall a lot of dead, well, not dead, just removed rats. A lot of bone crunch sound effects.
So let's just talk about at the end of the first half. I had at the end of the first half, I had a full roster. I had one guy hurt, but I had a full roster plus a bench squad. At the end of the second half, I think I had like 4 or 5 rats on the pitch, and still only lost the game because I could only roll ones on throws. I rolled so many ones, and every armor I got hit by the no skill dwarfs.
I had Mighty Blow. They weren't totally no skilled.
You had 2 Mighty Blow. They didn't do jack shit. I did go back and check out that one surf play. There was a surf play there, but you would have had to have made the surf and then do like a 4+ dodge and a 3+ dodge and then 2 GFIs with no reroll.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That was better than I feel like. Well, I was gonna do 2. There was 2 chains. So there was the first push just to get them to the right. And then I think there was a second one as long as it was a push, not a knockdown.
Right, you had to do 2 pushes.
Where I could have got it to where it could have been just either 2 dodges and 1 GFI or 1 dodge and 2 GFIs.
But there was a different play available to you. You didn't see it clearly, but there was a Longbeard who was in range, and you could have handed it off to him for a 4+ handoff.
Yeah, I had to dodge. I had to dodge at the Longbeard.
You had it. But anyway. So Superfed, he outclicked me, and we ended up tying because I could only roll ones and I didn't wear armor. But it was a fun game. You guys should check that out. I
will take your Humies with my orcs any day.
I would too. Your orcs are fucking nasty, and orcs are a great matchup. Give me a fucking claw team, and then we're talking. Don't come out and being. That's like saying I have the fucking
roll a necro team.
I have the 85. I have the 85 fucking Lakers, and I'm gonna play the Harlem Globetrotters. What kind of bullshit is that? You're a fucking orc team. I'm humans. Give me that. Division 4. Division 4. I can't listen to this anymore. Here we go. Week 8. The Baywatch Knights get the 2-0 bye versus the Rebel Invasion. Fucking Division 4. There's 3 bye weeks in this division. You guys need to get your shit together. Typos happen. 2-1 against Lizard Beast. Remember, there was something about this game that I liked. That's like bloody or something. Oh, King Croc got the MVP. He's only... Does he have a niggle? What's that on him? Yeah, he's got a niggle. King Croc's got a niggle. But he got the MVP. KKK Grad's diving tackle blitzer, which I'm sure he loves, is he's got his MVP.
God, I want that piece.
12 armor breaks to 5. These guys are both AV9. I mean, he must be fucking pounded on skinks. 50 blocks to 38, 8 removals to 1 removal. Damn, Kiwi Bird.
He got a niggle on his Agi4 skink.
Oh man, he looks like he did not bring. He brought a fucking knife to a gunfight. It looks like. All right. Horrible cliches. 1-0 versus Resistance is futile. 1 expulsion. I'm sure there was a lot of kicking going on in this game. There always is when Shiki plays. 10 armor breaks to 12. That's a lot of removal in this game. 6 removals for the Dark Elves and 4 for the Resistance Feudal. Yeah. Alright. 1-0 for the Dark Elves there. Gambas gets in the Carnival Freak Show 0-0. That's a bye week versus a bye week. Unlucky Skull 1-0 versus Unaccompanied Minos. Man, that had to be a slugfest. Let's check this one out. 13 armor breaks to only 8. That's kind of odd. A Blitzrock got the MVP and a level, looks like. Yeah. Got tackle for some reason. This dwarf over here got the MVP. He's got a niggle. No, he's just an MG. Got guard. 13 to 8. 4 removals to 4 removals. I wish they showed fouls on here. How many fouls were done? That'd be cool. Unaccompanied Minos is standard death. I wonder who died. Did you see that?
I did, and that was I think a bit of an upset because didn't you predict KNG to win that one?
No, this is unaccompanied. KNG. This isn't playing this game. I'm talking about Unlucky Skull Skull versus Unaccompanied Minos.
Oh, I'm looking at the one next to you. Yeah, you're right. Unaccompanied Minos. Who did they lose? I think it's a blocker.
Let's go on. Ace Trucking Company versus KNG. I 100% picked Quicks to win that game. There's no doubt.
Uh-huh. We can check the tape on that.
We might have to. We might have to. I'd love to prove you wrong. 11 armor breaks to 5. 11 armor breaks to 5. 32 blocks succeeded versus 28. That's only 1 KO inflicted by KNG. Actually, I talked to Quicks after this game. He seemed to think that he diced KNG.
Yeah, I saw that in chat too.
Did you see the game at all?
I didn't see the game. I just saw the stats pop up on the bot, and then Quicks actually had.
When I win, I never dice my opponent. It's always purely skill. When I lose, though, I'm always getting diced.
What? Yeah.
Iron Maiden, Gengar, with his 20 armor breaks, loses to the human. It's 20 armor breaks, 3 expulsions. Yeah, that's how it works.
That's a bloody one.
He injured the KO3, injured 2, but there was 7 removals for Communist Frat Party. But you know what? Communist Frat Party got the win. Nocturnal got the win. Only 1 KO got the win. 1 KO, and that's crazy because there's a lot of 87.
I think the refs were a big factor there.
Well, I mean, if you fucking kick every turn, you should expect a game or 2 where you get sent off.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so that was last week. That was week 9 leaderboard. Quicks, by virtue of his win over KNG, who was number 2 at the time, stays on top. Cake and Grab, the Orcs, who I believe I predicted to make a run at it, didn't I? We didn't make binding predictions. But I thought Cake and Grab had a shot.
Yeah, he's on the climb for sure, and I think he's basically the last hope of knocking Quicks off. So
I don't know, man. Look at fucking Horrible Cliches. If you remember, last time we saw Horrible Cliches is way down here, like 11 or 12, and now I was like, but he's only got 1 loss, and now he's way up here at number 3.
Sure.
So he's looking good, man. I got high hopes for Monkey Man. Chaos Dwarfs, we got Satan, and then Satan with the same records. That Monkey and What About Zagrod? Squiggy is free falling. Get your computer, Squiggy. Human Communist Frat Party Nocturnal with a big win. 3, 2, and 3 there. I mean, these guys are all fucking all right next to each other. Jesus. Kiwi Birds Lizard Beast takes it on the chin. They took left face. Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Lizard Beasts were really on top early on, and now as people are catching up in TV, they've really slid.
Yeah, early Camry is always tough. Baywatch Knights, Raven Poe, all right there. Look at these teams. Even all the way down to Shiggy. Everybody's got 3 wins except for King, but he's got 4 fucking ties. This is a crazy fucking division, dude. And these guys are both out. So that is the leaderboard. Even Shiggy's got 3 wins. Even this guy's 5 losses though, so that sucks. Let's rock into it. I want to talk about my boy King of Cosmos with Unlucky Skull because I like talking about Camry.
Do you?
Not really.
Big Camry fan, are you?
Not even a little bit. I fucking hate Camry. Camry's another really tough matchup for humans. Therefore, I dislike Camry. But looking good, man. Like if he went fucking Mighty Blow Frenzy on one of all regen. Look at that. You like that?
Strong pick. I mean, the Frenzy is very useful. They play a positional game, and that can make a big difference. And obviously the one that has tackle is going to get Mighty Blow next too, but I probably wouldn't have. I never played a single Kimber game, as we mentioned the last time in my life, so I own them, but I don't play them. I assume that it's helpful. I don't see it very often.
Here's my thinking with this pick, with the Frenzy pick. Camry are slow. Like they got three because so you can have a maximum of 4 move 6 pieces. So with them being so slow, I don't dislike the Frenzy over the piling on. You want to get extra armor roll dice, right? So you want to get extra injury dice. I think the Frenzy might be a better choice here, simply by virtue of the fact that it keeps him on his feet. Because getting up is going to be kind of difficult for him. So I'd be interested to see how that works.
Yeah, I mean, it'll allow him to clear, cages out a little bit better, or at least clear a way for his cage to move a little further forward. Um, so yeah, it shouldn't be a bad thing. The only thing I don't like right now on his team is that he just doesn't have a lot of guard to go with that frenzy. He's got one skeleton that rolled the double for it, so maybe that piece just kind of follows this blitzer all around. But he wants to always have an assist.
Well, I mean, he is one injury away on 2 different Tomb Guardians of getting 2 more guard. And the other thing with the Frenzy, which the other thing you can do with this piece is you can push people towards your Tomb Guardians. I mean, everything is about funneling guys to your Strength 5 pieces. You have 4 of them. So if you have Frenzy and you have Grab and you have that kind of thing, you can get people near your Tomb Guardians who can then put in work.
Makes sense.
I like it. I think it's a bold pick by King Cosmos. I don't know if he'll go guard. Would you go guard or friend or guard or Mighty Blow on -1 FF typical?
I personally would go for Mighty Blow just for next season development. He's not in a position to compete for playoffs.
You
and
just said he doesn't have enough guard.
Yeah, I know. For the frenzy. But I think you should look for future development, and you want to get your Tomb Guardians as leveled as fast as possible before they die.
This is why he plays dwarfs and orcs, because he can be wrong and just click a button and it works. I get it. I can get it now.
I will play with my high elf team. Settle it that way. High elf on dark.
Snake Eyes is here. My favorite piece in the division, the AG3 skeleton. He got blocked, man. He got blocked. He must be scoring touchdowns, right? Let's check him out.
Yeah, you've got to be feeding them the ball.
He's got 3 MVPs. He's got 3 touchdowns, and he's caused a casualty. This guy is like the fucking MVP. Fucking unlucky Skull. This skeleton, man. Snake Eyes is here. When I see Snake Eyes is here, clearly he's talking about the dice, but I think fucking G.I. Joe. And 0 turn career. I think the team looks good, man. I don't know a lot about Camry, actually. I figured you would because it's kind of your thing as Bash team, base and Bash, but
I like to be able to pick up the ball.
He's got Snake Eyes is here to pick up the ball, dude. And he's got a leader. Sure Hands does nothing. He's got some funny fucking names. There you go. That is Unlucky Skull. How's he doing, man? He's got Knuffles Altar. He's got fucking Knuffles Altar. Of course he does.
There's some really good star players for Camry.
Is there? Who do they have? They have They have that Strength 6 Wrestle. Mummy,
that's
right?
one, and then they have C-Tech, which is the Blitz Raw that has Strip Ball, Juggernaut.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, and Break Tackle.
You can get him on
and
Dead.
Strength
I get
4.
him all the time.
Yeah, I use him on Undead too. He's great.
He's sick. Yeah, so that Knuffles Altar, that might be a fucking good play right there. And he could probably, if I were him, I might pick up one more skeleton because he's got plenty of money. And he plays a heavy fouling game with this team. This is a fouling team. If I ever saw one, I would definitely pick up another skeleton there.
Yeah, he doesn't need the third reroll because he's got leader, although it's on an AV7 piece. But yeah, I'd definitely go for the bench. Or yeah, he already has the stadium upgrade. So yeah, that's it. Pick up the bench.
Pick up the bench. All right. Let's go on to your pick, and I know you wanted to go off the cuff. You want to do something, throw a curveball, so you're gonna go with the leader.
Yeah. We just talked about his team. Well, we talked about all these teams in the recap, but I just want to kind of emphasize the fact that he did just win against a very equally skilled, I would say, coach that had all the skills on the Bull Centaurs.
Yeah.
Versus his highly leveled blockers, which have also gotten even more levels. And I think the blockers were what made the difference. Even though he says it was dice, if you look at the removals, they all came from these blitzers. And having now Claw, Mighty Blow, that's going to put in so much work for this team.
Yeah, this team is getting getting nasty. You guys, if you wanted to beat Quicks, I think you should have done it early because this team is starting to come together. This Bull Center, did he just get this fucking move 7? What the fuck is this?
He did. So this is just from the last game. So even though he hasn't gotten Break Tackle yet, which will still inhibit his movement with the ball, once he does get free, or if he blitzes free, he's going to be able to get really far down the pitch.
You know what I would do? I would invest in one of these Chaos Dwarf blockers. I'd get one of them Frenzy. And the reason I would get one of them Frenzy is so that I could one turn with the Alderman.
I would get. I was gonna say I would get one guard or a grab for the same reason. If he gets a grab one and a frenzy one, then yeah, he's got the perfect one turn setup for an ugly Chaos Dwarf team.
Fucking Satan Dwarfs. Pick up the ball with Ace, because it's his company. Get it to the Alderman. Maybe I would get him catch. Who fucking knows?
You know what? The more I see Chaos Dwarves in the ladder, the more I am a big fan of getting catch instead of sure hands on the Bull Centaurs. Strip ball is just not that common anymore. I think it was a lot more common or a lot more prevalent in the past. And these days you just don't see it very often. And so with catch, you can always, like you just said, use sure hands to pick up the ball and then hand it off.
Yeah, I think that's a fucking great move. Would you go break tackle first, or would you go catch first on the Alderman? I mean, he's a one-turner at this
Catch
point.
is a double. Catch is a double, so you'd have to get the double to do it. If you got the double, I'd probably take it. But otherwise, yeah, break tackle needs to come.
So let's put it this way: if he gets a double, he's getting dodged, so he needs two doubles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you probably do get dodge before catch. But I have seen Bull Centaurs with catch before dodge.
I would probably get the dodge first, and the reason I would do it is unless you have caused enough damage where there's a big hole in the picket fence, you are unlikely to fucking break through the picket fence.
Right.
So you might as well just go ahead and get the break tackle because it's useful in all situations, where the catch is really only going to be useful in situations for one turning specifically we're talking about here, is only going to be useful in situations where you've hurt enough of the team with these nasty fucking Chaos Dwarf blockers to where there's big holes in the picket fence. That's the only way.
You're not wrong, but I do think catch is going to be more valuable outside the one turn. The other thing with getting catch before dodge is that you don't have a lot of other dodge on the team, and every other team you're going to face is going to have at least one tackle piece. So the dodge isn't going to do wonders for you, whereas catch is going to get you a far more reliable chance to get the ball onto a piece you want the ball on.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting dodged for the protection. I think you're getting dodged to combine with break tackle, so you can just move whatever the fuck you want and not worry about it.
I mean, you don't use a lot of rerolls once you get block on a majority of your pieces, and he's got block on 80% of his team. So I'm okay with using my dodge for a reroll.
All right, well, I'm interested to see how he does. I'm going to check out his schedule real fast. Who's he got this week? He has Unlucky Skull, that'll be bloody. And then he's got Horrible Cushion. Oh, he's got a tough fucking road. He's facing all the big boys right now, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotten his buys pretty much out of the way. And I think his toughest match of the season is going to be in week 12 if Squiggy is back.
Squiggy, come back, dude. We need you. That was the team reviews. Let's go over next week's schedule and the highlight games. I'll let you go first because I'm feeling nice today.
So I have highlighted the two teams that we just talked about, Ace Trucking versus Unlucky Skull. So we don't have to pull them up necessarily, but we can still talk about how we expect this match to go. The fouling from Unlucky Skull needs to be a thing. He needs to be able to remove the hobos and, kind of put the Chaos Dwarves on the back foot. Conversely, I would say that the Chaos Dwarves, they get to take out Tomb Guardians, and they've got the right pieces for it. And if you're not throwing red dice with your blockers at those Tomb Guardians, especially with your Claw Mighty Blow one, you've got no balls. And you need to go hard. Throw some red dice. And keep your ball safe with the Chaos Dwarf, or with the Bull Centaurs.
Does the exactly 150 inducements going to the Camry, does that worry you at all?
Fireball is not going to be capitalized very well by. I mean, it obviously can do attrition. The numbers are not good for that, but never tell me the odds kind of thing. I mean, it can work. I've had a fireball take out 2 ward answers before, so I know it can work. But I would actually be expecting a bribe and a babe. I think a bribe and a babe would be statistically a far more reliable thing for Unlucky Skull Skull.
That is the first smart thing you've said all day. Bribe and a babe. That is 100% the way to go. And I think that's the way that King is going to go. He is going to knock you down and then stomp the shit out of you. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think that AD,
And as long
RR, AD, of course. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I think he's going to put in some work.
as long as the Chaos Dwarfs don't roll skulls when they roll their red dice, I think we could see a dead Tomb Guardian here.
A dead Tomb Guardian, you are smoking. You are smoking. I mean, you live in Washington State, so we know you just fucking walk down to the street and get the ganja, and you come back and you just light it up and you're smoking all the time. You're a fucking pothead. So you clearly.
So it sounds like you're committing. Sounds like you're committing to Unlucky Skull Skull winning this.
Upset of the week. Lock it in. Lock it in. You get 3-1.
I'll gladly take this one. I'll gladly take this one.
Let's talk about a real competitive match. We're going to talk about the Baywatch Knights versus unaccompanied Minos. These teams are pretty close in the leaderboard, so this game could have some super big implications. Unaccompanied Minos is Det Monkey.
So this is the In Griff We Trust team
versus,
as you like to call them, Satan Dwarves. And if there's anything that can take on a Griff, I would think it's a Chaos Dwarves team.
Man, Raven Poe needs some fucking peasants. Chaos Dwarves. I don't know, man. Griff's a fucking beast. Griff is like the best thing about playing humans. Just get Griff once in a while. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a ton of fucking inducements. How much does Griff cost? Do we know?
I mean, that's the strat. As far as levels go, we don't know. I'm assuming this. Well, I don't know. Maybe you got a double. The double doesn't matter on the blocker. The double does matter on the blitzer because that's a Mighty Blow right away. But and actually, I think he should go Mighty Blow on Manny as well.
I'm playing one season. I'm playing one of my leagues as Bretonians, and I'm only carrying 2 blockers, and I'm probably just gonna go guard or tackle guard on all of them. I mean, I watch Mistakes play his guys, and it's an awkward.
My take is that they're a low. Well, they're a low TV removal team, and so if you don't get Mighty Blow where you can, or at least on one piece, you're gonna struggle because you're not removing enough pieces.
Right, but they don't remove people by hitting them. They remove people by fucking pulling them down to the ground and then stomping on them with all these linemen he doesn't have anymore.
That's one of the ways, but you're essentially cutting your chances of removing pieces in half by not having a Mighty Blow blitz each turn.
I mean, I understand. I love Mighty Blow too, so I guess you can see it. I don't like. I look at like Ruff the Slayer as Mistakes' guy in Division 1, and that guy, he'd fucking get both downs and has to wrestle all the time, dude. And he's his fucking Mighty Blow piling on, dude. I don't. It just feels
1 in 9s happen an awful lot, and it is awkward, but it's still a better, more likely than not, opportunity for you to get a blitz with the Mighty Blow to get a removal, and then you can get a second removal by doing Dirty Player on a different piece.
So he's got 3 Dauntless to go against these stupid fucking Satan Centaurs. But don't tackle. One of these guys has Blodge.
The Centaurs are sick over there.
So it's you pick the match, so that means I get to pick the winner first, and I'm going to take on Unaccompanied Minos. I don't care about the inducements.
Of course you would. Yeah, okay. I'll totally take Raven Poe's team here. Because Griff, and reasons. He'll get Griff. He'll get probably a wizard too. He's got money in the bank to buy a couple peasants. This is another one like the Necromantic Newbies where there's a ton of inducements, and if the ref is not looking, you can foul your way to a win.
I will say this. That Monkey he's still a newer coach. He's just fresh. This is his first year outside the rookie league. Raven Poe is extraordinarily experienced. So there's a possibility that there could be some veteran moves, as they say, going on in this game. So I'll be interested to see. I mean, clearly that Monkey's got a better team.
Yeah, I mean, sure hands blodge on Bull Centaur. Granted, I don't like the sure hands before break tackle. That to me doesn't feel good.
Well, I mean, he's still 75% to dodge with his with his dodge skill.
Are you ever rolling that dodge?
I just watched it happen. Fiction versus Solar Dragonfire. He fucking rolled like 4 dodges with his. He's got an AG2 Ulf with dodge, and he did like 3 or 4 times. And he didn't fail till the last time when the game was on the line.
That was my next thing. It will succeed 100% of the time when the game is not on the line, but when the game is on the line, I could not convince myself to push that button.
Well, he still got the tie. He was going for the 1-0 win and failed the dodge, and then it gave him the tie. But it works. I mean, in desperate times call for desperate measures. But I don't know. I don't mind the sure hands there first. That Monkey I don't at all. I think because you got the blodge, maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, I'm taking the company my nose.
Bold choice, sir. Bold choice.
I know. I don't have anything else. What do you have coming up on your channel this week, man? Anything fun and interesting?
You know, actually, now that you mentioned that, that's kind of funny. I am going to do something for the very first time. I'm going to stream with my wife, and we're both in finance, and we're going to actually do some financial advice on Twitch and see how this goes. Who knows? It could be a horrible disaster, but yeah, we're going to see how that works out.
All right. I'm going to hold my comments to myself, but I will say this. I will say this.
Yeah.
When I was I dropped out of college like 6 or 7 times before I finally fucking completed it. And one time when I was doing it, I had taken the summer class, and the only class available was at 9 a.m. And I was a bartender at the time. So usually, this is a bartender in Seattle. So usually I would get home about, you work till 2, you take an hour to clean up, you drink till about 5 or 6, you go home, you get an hour, and I went to this fucking class. And I fell asleep in this fucking class, and it was accounting. It was like accounting 2:30 or something like that. And I missed half the classes, and I slept through the other fucking classes because usually I was still drunk. And the teacher, because it was a summer class, he wasn't a fucking regular teacher. He was an accountant with a summer job teaching. So he was the most boring fucking person. He told the same joke every fucking day. Yeah, I went to the accounting firm, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. He was the most boring fucking person in the world, and immediately put me to sleep every fucking time I was in there. Man, so financial advice, I was just saying, if you need a nap, maybe tune into that.
It's more banking, less accounting, but yeah, close. It should be entertaining. We'll see. If anything, it'll be more entertaining to see me and my wife together on a stream, because that is a first and will be plenty awkward on its own.
For sure, guys. Check that out. Superfed TV. That's your Twitch channel, right? Twitch.superfedtv.
Yep. Everything's Superfed TV for me.
Will you do? You know what you should do? Before you do that, because that sounds super fun. Before you do that, cast a replay of Razzers versus Wedge's team.
Yeah, I don't really want to relive that horror, right?
On my channel, I will be doing a in-depth look at Dark Elves this week. I'm going to do it on Friday. I did an in-depth on Undead, which was enjoyable. I got some good feedback on that. Dark Elves are a little more complicated, so it might be a little bit longer. And that's pretty much it. I don't have a lot. I have a bye week in my Nats. WCW's wrapped up. I'm waiting for Goblin. I'm playing Papa Nasty's fucking super killer orcs with my Dark Elves. I'm not looking forward to that. That's not till Monday, though, so I don't have a lot going on.
I did want to say I saw the Undead highlight thing you did, and I liked it. It was very good.
Thank you.
As a fellow Undead coach, it covered all the good points.
I appreciate that. So please check that out. That's Undead in Depth. It's on the channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Also subscribe to Superfed's YouTube and his Twitch channel. Like I said, you can watch him on Twitch, and if you need a nap, then that's the place to go. Or if you actually do need banking advice, I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. You got anything on the way out the door, man?
Nope, that's all. Good luck, everybody.
That's it. Good luck, and we will see you next week. See ya!